Okay? And so almost every comment on the article agrees with me and is giving them sources of where I said things. So I appreciate your call. Anything else?
Questions?
Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to say, before I get to them, it may seem like you get it from all sides, but there is love out there for you, too.
Are you kidding? 90% of what I get is love. I love it.
Well, I sent you a birthday present. I don't know if you got it. Bunch of CDs.
Yes. Thank you. Real fast the question, because I got to get to others.
Okay. They're both bin Laden related. One is just really short. What is the BCCI bank? And the other one is Sudan offered better relations with the U.S. Sudan offered bin Laden to Bill Clinton. What was Bill Clinton's response to Sudan?
That was in 1996, and he said, we don't want him.
Didn't he blow up? Didn't he attack them over it? Did he, bomb their pharmaceutical plant?
Yes, he did. I appreciate your call. Let's go ahead. Yeah, they cruise missiled it. Let's go ahead and talk to Isaac in Texas. Isaac, you're on the air.
Yes. How are you doing, Alex?
Good.
I had a personal question. Who do you think we ought to go ahead and vote for? And is there any hope for Texas due to the stage terror, the body scanners, and Debra Medina flip-flopping?
Well, I mean, look, I think you should still vote for Debra Medina. I don't think people who voted for her wasted a vote. I just being called despicable and watching her flip-flop is very painful and hurt me. And so that's why I'm upset about it. And now some of the responses I'm seeing from the campaign, I mean, for now I'm saying go ahead and vote for her. But go to her website. Have we gotten any response yet from these people? I appreciate your call. Let's go ahead and talk to Kevin in California. Kevin, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Good.
Well, I got a couple comments on Debra Medina. One real quick one here. One of the things that bothered me the most about it was calling people despicable. She's basically stomping on free speech at that point in time. And so
hey, don't criticize her or you're evil. I mean, you don't have your free speech now.
Oh, I understand that. And here's a couple other points for you real quick. 26 years ago, Frank Zappa, you can see the video on Musicians for Freedom, was talking about, in 1984, race-specific bioweapons.
So I've had his wife on. And
the last point is I thought you might find this an interesting link between the Rothschilds and Al Gore. Jacob Schiff, his grandson, Andrew Schiff, is married to Al Gore's daughter, Katrina.
Yes, I've seen that.
I find that no small bit of irony, in particular regarding David the Rothschild, the mouthpiece for Europe, regarding global warming, and then you got Al Gore over here, and then we see some type of loose blood relationship that they've formed.
Well, it's like Kerry and Bush being cousins, and on every side of their family, it's like a breed of dog. They're all related, like French bulldogs or beagles. It's all basically one family tree. It's Obama's related closely to Cheney.
It's just amazing. The whole, people start to really look at that aspect of it. It's no surprise why we're at today.
I hear you, and I appreciate your call. Okay, there's so many phone calls here. Who's been holding the longest on our phone system? Paul in Indiana, you're on the air. Go ahead. Guess he's been holding so long, he's gone. Chris in California, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alex, Jack McLam, Dr. Sam Monteith, Keith, Paul Craig Roberts, Dr. Jerome Corsi, Larry Pratt. I heard you. These are all members of the Council for National Policy that we never hear talked about on the show, and there's constantly guests who are involved in rub shoulders with people like, George Bush and Alan Keyes and, Alberto Gonzalez, Pat Robertson. I heard you just attacking him earlier. Dr. Dobson and the Group for Council for National Policy is an ultra-secret right group, and I heard you talking with Peter Dale Scott about this, and you actually said, this is a quote from you, the CFR, or the CNP is a junior CFR.
Well, let me be clear, and I appreciate your call. look, what people do is they invent new special conspiracies that are theirs. Okay, and by the way, I had Peter Dale Scott on 10 years ago talking about the CMP. And for you to say I never talk about it isn't true. I brought it up with him when he was on, I think, the show last time. Burma's asked him about it for the film he's making. He's in there. So I don't work for the Republican Party. I have different guests on. I mean, I had Rothschild on. People say I must like him. No, I had him on and skewered him. In fact, we're going to skip this last break because I want to have time to hit these other two articles I swore I'd get to. But on this subject, that was the Hunt brothers, and they wanted to take over politics, and they were big anti-Kennedy people, and that is a right-wing thing. But people send me emails saying, there's proof you're CNP and all this. I'm not. I don't even go to Republican meetings. I don't go to anything. It's like an inquisition. I'm talking about naked body scanners, cameras in your computer watching you, the IRS out of control, banks stealing trillions, bring them to justice. I'm interviewing Peter Dale Scott over and over again. He can talk about whatever he wants on this show. And then it's like, ooh, Alex Jones won't talk about CNP, Council on National Policy. Is that right? Council on National Policy? I mean, it's a group, I think back in the 80s, where whether it was co-opting the anti-New World Order movement or was good and then got bad, I haven't really studied it that much. I just know there's all sorts of groups and interchanging organizations. I mean, I'm criticizing Pat Robertson. You're discrediting yourself with what you're saying. I was just talking bad about Robertson. Dr. Paul Craig Roberts admits he used to be a big Republican. Now he comes out against him. I mean, you judge a tree by its fruits. I'll bring CMP up. Remind me, guys, next time Roberts is on with us, he'll talk about it. I mean, I think they get together and have meetings and talk about how they want to take over the Republican Party. I mean, that stuff goes on everywhere. It's like there's a camp that says I work for the Jews, which I don't. There's a camp that says I work for the Catholics, which I don't. There's a camp that says I'm a Scientologist, which I'm not. Never been to their meeting, know nothing about it other than pretty goofy stuff from L. Ron Hubbard, and it looks like they've done some bad things in the past. CMP. I mean, I'm here doing what I do. I'm here covering issues. And this is why, as a society, we are so screwed up. I mean, I've got people saying I work for oil companies. That's what David Rothschild said on this show. You know, you work for oil companies. I get zero money from oil companies. I actually have family in East Texas, in those areas. An oil well might bring in like $500 a month or something. They're little teeny things. I think my grandma said she gets about $100 a month from some, because the way oil wells work is somebody will have an oil well on their property, but it's like a pool, and then people with adjoining property, we've got some family land in West Texas. I think decades ago the well wasn't played out. I think she got a couple $100 a month off that. So I mean, I guess in a way it's actually true. I mean, I'm in Texas, but I mean, I'm not here saying global warming isn't real because I work for oil companies. Oil companies. Most of the big ones, including Dutch Royal Shell, BP, ExxonMobil. I mean, Google right now, ExxonMobil in favor of carbon tax and endorses global warming. I mean, ClimateGate is real. I'm covering this because I don't want a $2.6 billion tax on my electricity in the next 3 years in Austin. But no, I work for the oil companies. No, I work for me. I don't own any stocks, any bonds. I work for Alex Jones and freedom. And notice that we open the phones up, and it's just got to be about Alex Jones. And that's why we can't go anywhere, because here's the deal. People are waking up. We're making giant strides. But people who are caught in this infighting paradigm, they can't make any strides. Because I don't know, it's a form of illness or something. I've always noticed we'll have FEMA camp documents and we post them and nobody wants to read them. They're not popular. But if I post a photo of something people might think is a camp, there'll be 1,000 comments and it'll go viral on the internet. It's like speculation is always king. Is this guy a reptoid, or are chupacabra's real, or things like this. And I'm here covering real news. I'm here breaking news. I'm here documenting. I'm here making award-winning films and giving them to you for free. I hope you'll buy them on DVD at Infowars.com and support us.